welcome to another episode of the NRW Checkpoint. I am your host, at least one of your hosts, WebsterStyle, the man, the voice, the fragrance. Of course, I'm always joined by my man, Brian Sapph. Brian, how are you today?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
Good. I'm good, man. I cannot complain. We have a jam-packed release schedule today. Let's jump right into it with a game that garnered a lot of acclaim when it was released for the PS4 about 2 years ago now. It was one of their debut games that it was actually released into PlayStation Plus. It is now gone free to play and is on everything, including next gen or current gen upgrades for the PS5 as well as the Xbox Series S and X. And that is none other than Fall Guys. It's a game that I'm looking forward to playing since I haven't played it. I've heard many good things about it, and is platforming / party game. And again, it is free to play. So there is no reason that you should not, in this listening audience, download this game just because. So season 1 is free to play, of course, for free to play games.
Yeah,
you're definitely going to have some microtransactions, but hey, base price is free, so can't really complain. Brian, have you played Fall Guys?
Absolutely. I love Fall Guys. It's a great game to stream for all you Twitch streamers that might be watching, or whatever platform you decide to stream on. I know YouTube does the streaming as well. Fun party game, like you said, platformer. Customization is really fun on there. There's lots of little skins and different things you can do to your, I guess, character. I don't know, because if you ever seen the trailer or a picture for Fall Guys, these characters, they look like little minions running around.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
just not yellow. But very fun game. I enjoy it. I tend to play it when I just want something that's like easy but not easy, because those those levels get really difficult at times. And then you are playing against, I think the max is like 64 players on a board at one time. Okay. Yeah, it's a game show in a sense. Like it starts out 64 people or whatever, somewhere around that number. Don't quote me on the 64, but somewhere around that number. And then as you progress through the various levels or whatever, people get eliminated if they don't make it past a certain time frame or something like that. It's really fun though. I've enjoyed it. They're going back to season 1 now that it's free to play, so that's going to be interesting. And they are also very good at making sure they have like events that line up with holidays. So
sounds good.
Halloween tends to be fun, but yeah, that's Fall Guys.
It looks like a fun game, so I can't wait to try it out. I actually think I can download it now as of the time of this recording, so I think it's already out.
Yes.
As of the time of this recording, so I'll probably look that up later on. I don't know. That's if I've been playing Turtles, so
I understand. It's good if you have kids. If you're just looking for a cool party game to jump in, because I think the parties themselves on the actual platform, I think you can have up to 4 players like team up with you. But which it helps out, because there's some aspects of the game where a team would be like beneficial. They group you up based on, I don't know what it's random, I guess, but fun game. It's a party game. You'll love it. I feel like you'll enjoy it a lot.
All right, I can't wait. I'll probably check it out this weekend. Yeah, more likely. All right, next up is the return of a, maybe not venerated franchise, but one that a lot of gamers have a lot of nostalgia for, and that's ShadowRun. In this case, it's the ShadowRun Trilogy. I believe these games released on PC last year, and they are now been updated for the console, and they are debuting for everything Xbox One, SX, Switch, and PS4 and 5, and they're dropping day 1 on the Xbox Game Pass, which is really interesting. I never gotten a ShadowRun. My only experience, and I don't think I really played it. Microsoft owned the IP for a while, and it was that third-person Shadowrun game that came out in the 360 era. They owned that and Mech Warrior, and they've since sold those IPs off to the original creators, I believe. But Shadowrun is a isometric RPG that people loved back in the day, and looking at what they did now, they brought it back to that isometric sort of viewpoint. The original, I say the original, but the 360 version was a third person, and I was always liken Shadowrun to like a mix of weapons and sorcery when it comes to the gameplay. So you have some guns there, you got some magic there. The 360 game was pretty cool though, so I was kind of disappointed that never really took hold with the populace, and Microsoft thought it was probably a good idea to just sell the IP off. Of course, under current leadership, I don't think that would ever happen. You know, between 360 and Xbox One, they didn't have good people running Microsoft's game division in that transition. So, and especially early as Xbox One. So they did some really stupid things like selling Bungie and all that good stuff. Or I say letting Bungie buy themselves out. So yeah, they didn't do the smartest long-term things back then. But yeah, this looks pretty cool. I'll probably jump into this eventually, especially since it's on Game Pass. I'm never been that big into isometric RPGs, but just the Shadowrun name alone will get me interested. And again, like I said, this is on every platform. So regardless of your platform, you now have access to play this game, and the controls have been optimized for console from that PC base. So it'll be very interesting. I think that we've seen a lot of RPGs lately, but not a lot of isometric ones. And with that as well, Shadowrun has always been pretty unique as to their battle system, as well as just storyline in general compared to a lot of RPGs out there. So I think a lot of people will find this one very interesting.
Yeah, it looks based on what you described, it sounds interesting. I've never played any of the Shadowrun, so maybe it's something I need to check out.
Yeah, we will be watching a trailer for that as well, so you get a better idea of that also.
Okay.
All right. Next up, we have a game that's been out since 2019 on everything else except for the Switch. So now it debuts on the Switch, and that is Wreckfest. And that's a racing game. You wreck your cars. I believe it was on the subscription service of both Xbox and PlayStation for one point in time. I didn't check to see if they were still there, but it's a game that's been floating around for 3 years now. It's now coming to the Switch again. It's not that it's a bad game, but it's been out for a while. There's not too much really to say about it. You're familiar with it. It's racing, it's wrecking. That's pretty much it.
It's something that should have been on Switch at launch.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so the next game we have is a game called Deliver Us the Moon, and this is next gen or current gen only. It's an adventure game. Oh, I'm sorry, this is the next gen upgrades to that. So it's already out on the previous gens. It's now the next gen upgrade, and it is now being released for current systems. And this is an adventure game. Looks pretty cool. Are we watching the trailer for this? No, we're not watching the trailer for this, but it looks pretty cool when I was looking at it. So it's not bad at all, in my opinion. Not my cup of tea though, but it looks like an interesting adventure game.
Deliver Us the Moon. I'll check out a trailer for it. It looks sounds, I don't know, we'll see. Okay.
Yeah. And again, this is a game that came out originally for the PS4 and PS4 and the Xbox One back in 2020. So it's a 2-year-old game.
Okay.
Next up, we have Nakara Bladepoint. This is an action game that's come out for the Xbox Series S and X. This is actually one of the games that was featured during Microsoft's presser as one of those games that's coming out over the next 6 months and is dropping directly in the Game Pass. It's an MMO action game, I think it is. It's been on PC since 2021, and if I remember the advertising, like 10 million players play it, something to that effect. This is coming out this week for the Xbox Series S and X, and it's slated to come out for the PlayStation 5. It's just there's no release date that is scheduled yet. So I would say 3 to 6 months, probably Xbox exclusive for 3 to 6 months, and it'll drop on PlayStation 5.
Cool.
But it looks pretty cool. It's an action game, action beating people up, massively multiplayer, sort of a not anime style, but it has a sort of anime design with the characters and whatnot. It looks pretty cool. I may check it out. I'm not sure. Like I say, it looks cool, but I'm like, it didn't, for me, it wasn't saying, hey, WebsterStyle, you need to play this game. But if it's one of those things like, let me find something different to play, I definitely will play it.
Okay. We'll check it out.
All right. Next up is a game that we all know and love. Well, I should say a collection of games that we all know and love. And this is Sonic Origins, and it's as you can imagine, is out for everything: Switch, PC, Series X, X, SX1, PS4, 5, and of course I said Switch already. But this is a collection of the first 5 Sonic games. Actually, no, it's 6. Yeah, 6. So this is no 5. Sonic 1 through 3, Sonic and Knuckles, and then Sonic CD. And if you know the story of Sonic 3, you may have wondered why Sonic 3 has never really been readily available. And that's because Sonic 3 contained music that was composed by Michael Jackson, and either he wasn't credited, I heard a story about that today, or they just didn't want to pay the rights to his estate, which is totally understandable, which is why Sonic 3 has not been available for download anywhere since about the 360 era, if I remember correctly. 360 PS3 era. So now it's available again. They changed up some of the tracks. For me, I see this and I want to be like, yes, I want to buy it, but no, I don't. And let me tell you why, though.
What's up?
I have Sonic 2 already from Xbox Live Arcade. I bought Sonic CD because it was $4.99 before they discontinued it about a month or so ago. That was my download I recommended when they said they were discontinuing these. I have a Sega Genesis Mini, so Sonic 1 and 2, all of them on that. And then, personally speaking, I have a Sonic collection on Nintendo DS, and all those games, these 1, 2, and 3, and Knuckles, are on that DS game. So, like, for me personally, I'm like, I've bought Sonic enough. I'm good. Others, I'm sure is great, but for me, I'm like, I have all these games, and I have them a couple different times over in some respects.
Oh, so you're probably gonna skip Sonic Frontier then, huh?
I haven't seen enough of that yet. But let me tell you, Brian, I have too many Sonic games that I need to finish.
I understand.
I mean, I still have Sonic Generations that I still haven't finished. I haven't gone back to it. And that's a great game. That is a really good game. So I'm looking forward to Sonic Frontier. I've seen the little bit of footage I've seen looks good. But if you haven't purchased any of these Sonic games, the Sonic Origins is right up your alley. They're remastered. I think they have the normal bells and whistles of these remastered collections, pause game states, all that good stuff, which is really cool. But again, a lot of that stuff was on the original release. Like, that's on Sonic 2 that was released on Xbox Live Arcade. So a lot of things aren't terribly new, but Sega need to get something out for Sonic and Sonic Anniversary that they kind of missed. What do you think about this, Brian?
I mean, they've had a lot of success with team racing. And then Frontiers on the horizon as well. So I'm assuming this is another cash grab, but it's not necessarily a terrible one because Sonic storied franchise. Everybody loves Sonic. The movies are doing really well. I think 2 is if it's not on Paramount Plus already.
Yeah, it's on Paramount Plus.
Okay, so
we watched it a couple weeks ago. It was good.
Right. So they're getting ready. They just trying to get some money, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, because I heard the story about Michael Jackson composing for Sonic 3, and I don't know. I didn't like that they wasn't trying to pay him because
look, it's business. I understand
that
licensing. I totally understand that when a game like this is made, you're not thinking 20 years later about paying royalties and license fees to an artist, especially one that is expired.
Right.
And so you're not dealing with their artist anymore. You're dealing with their estate. Yeah. And their estate ain't playing.
Right.
So
even that, like, before Michael passed or whatever, I remember that being like an issue as to why Sonic 3 was never, because well, I don't know, how long has it been since Michael passed? I
want to say 2009, maybe
somewhere around that time frame.
Yeah,
but even before, it was always like, why we could never get this on PlayStation, even though Sonic was continuing to put out new games, or not new games, but reintroduce us to the older games and stuff like that. It's like, what's going on with it? And it was literally just a licensing thing. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Michael might have had like a few, not shares, but like a stake in Sega.
Michael had a stake in everything back in the day.
Yes, because he was
a smart man. Business-wise.
Very smart. But I'm looking for, well, No, I'm not, because I'm not gonna get any of these games, but because I played them already. But
Right.
I appreciate Sonic still being a character that's reintroducing himself over and over throughout the generations. Sonic, this entire Origins catalog, if you're not interested in getting it, I would say get it anyway because the games
Yeah.
are good. They're fun games.
This is my not my question, but my one concern about
Uh,
this, as
uh,
far as who is it for. The only game, well, Sonic CD now, since that's delisted, but the only games on here that you can't get anywhere else are Sonic 3 and Sonic CD.
right,
On all of those Mega Drive collections that have come out, Sonic 1 is there, Sonic 2 is there,
right.
Sonic and Knuckles is there,
Yeah,
for the most part. So these have come out, most of this collection has come out time and time again on Sega's Mega Drive collections. I believe there was another collection that came out that come out. So, but this is the first time that all those games have been collected in one. So
right,
if you are someone who just wants to have all these games collected in one, that's fine. That's a perfect reason to get this. If you are
right.
someone who didn't buy any other games, fine. Or really, you've never played Sonic 3 before, because I can see there's a whole generation of gamers that
Yeah,
have really, unless they dug out a Genesis and found a cartridge somewhere, have
right,
not played Sonic 3. And
right.
I think that would be more worthwhile as well. I believe this is retailing for, I'm not sure if it was $39.99 or $49.99. Honestly, I think at $50 is too high.
Yeah, that's too high.
$10 each for one of these games is way too high. $39.99, if that's the price, then that's a decent value. But if this is 50, that is way too much money for this,
Yeah.
in my
I
opinion.
mean, and then if you just want all of the because you did mention earlier that they released on, like, what is it, the Sega like mini, the little emulator things that they
Yes.
put out. They did have all of those games except for the two that you mentioned, 3 and CD. So if you just want all those games on a current gen
Mhm.
system or platform or whatever, that you can just access it really
Right.
quickly, then yeah,
It's
it's a good buy.
$39.99.
How many?
$39.99.
Okay,
So
that's
that's reasonable. And even also, like, I think a couple of these games are on the Nintendo's online service as well, as far as the Genesis portion.
I can see that.
So
Yeah.
there's a lot of double dipping here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
Cash
it's a lot
grab.
of ways to play. I mean, you could play a lot of these games with the Sega Origins collection that was on mobile. I know Sonic
Yes.
1 and 2 were definitely part of that. And I think Sonic CD, because actually I have Sonic CD, or I had Sonic CD
Mhm.
way back on Windows Phone. So it's one of those things that, like, these games have been floating around. So I don't know, unless you're somebody who like you like collections, you want all these in one place. I totally get it, especially to get a physical copy. I can
Yeah.
see buying this physically more so than digitally, personally
Right.
speaking.
Just for
But it's
nostalgia's
one of those
sake.
things where a lot of people play these games, a lot of people have purchased all these games. So I don't know necessarily who's it for, uh,
Well,
in mass.
yeah. Well, the gaming community, they've always been stern about wanting Sonic 3. So I could see it being
Yeah.
for us, like, just the people who've over the years understood the importance and the relevancy of Sonic. Maybe have played 1 and 2, now they got a chance to play 3 because the stuff with Michael Jackson happened and they had to switch music and just decided not to release the project because we were moved forward from Sega Genesis or whatever the case. But it sounds like, outside of making money, they're anticipating Sonic Frontier would do well enough to get a second release. So maybe, I don't know, if you want all these games, just do it.
See, this is what I think they should have done. Okay. I think they should have done like Konami, and I'm gonna get off of this because we got a couple more games to go through. Another collection is next, actually, which I think is a better value than this. They should have done like Konami did with Turtles and bundled everything together. So it's Sonic 1, 2, 3, Knuckles,
Right.
also Sonic CD, Sonic Fighters, also Dr. Robotnik's Mean Green, Beam Machine. All that stuff, all those Sonic related games should have been bundled into one collection. I
Yeah.
think that would be a better value and make more sense, because then you get the obscure stuff, not just the mainline stuff as well.
Right.
You could have done that, put that, even Sonic CD, there was Sonic R. That I know I'm missing another game. As far as that stuff, Genesis and Sega CD,
Right.
And Saturn as well, because those
Yeah, I forgot
games,
about the Saturn.
yeah, I think it was Sonic Fighters, or whatever. It was Sonic, I
Right.
forget. Like those in one bundle for that $40 price tag makes perfect sense.
I
I
agree.
get it. And then you do say another bundle with Sonic 1, excuse me, yeah, Sonic 1, was it Sonic Adventure 1, Sonic Adventure 2, Shadow, and then I forget there's another one that came out in that era. But yeah, those three. Like I would get that as far as
Yeah.
bundles for the different eras of Sonic. At least that's me personally. So, but that's Sonic Origins. That's our take on that. Like I said, I love Sonic. It's just for me,
Yeah.
I'm not buying these games again.
Yeah,
But
I
this
agree with
next
you.
collection is a bit different. And this
Different, very
next
different.
collection is Capcom Fighting Collection. This is on the
Which,
PS4, the Switch, and the the Xbox One, not the PS One. That would be interesting. And this is a collection of Capcom fighting game. This is 10 fighters, but what's got me excited is it's like the whole Darkstalkers lineages, Darkstalkers and Vampire Warrior, which barely seen the light of day on home consoles in the United States. So it's 10 games, including Darkstalkers games and Hyper Street Fighter 2. And it's only $40.
wow.
Right.
Only $40.
Only $40.
Okay,
Capcom's
so
been really good on their collections and the,
yeah,
and the
I
pricing of those
appreciate it.
collections. And there's another game, Red Earth, which I'm not familiar with, but again, obscure, something that if it got home release, it was probably released back in the PS1 era, which is why nobody heard of it. I can't remember the home release of a Darkstalkers game. And trust me, I've looked up Darkstalkers just to see if anything's backwards compatible on the Xbox. Maybe about 6-7 months ago. And my Xbox just turned on because I said Xbox.
She's listening to you.
It is. So I'm excited about this one. This is definitely, it's not even it's interesting. You know, we talked about that footage for Street Fighter, and I said I'm kind of over Street Fighter at this point.
Yeah, Street Fighters, they're creating new ways to I guess innovate the game and try to push it forward through the different iterations of generations of, you know, consoles or whatever. But at the source, at its premise, is a Street Fighter's fighting game.
Yeah.
And it can be a little redundant at this point in the game. But I don't see that for Capcom though. This is
they're gonna milk it.
Yeah. And I
don't blame them though.
No, I don't either. Okay, so in this collection though, right? Because it said it includes 10 games.
Yes.
Are we gonna get the versus games as well, like Capcom versus SNK?
No,
Capcom versus
that's
Marvel?
the only game I want. That is the only game I need that in my life.
Right.
You do not understand. I had it on my Dreamcast. That's the only game I care about. Capcom, I will pay $40 for that game alone.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. I don't know what happened to SNK. Why the fuck they not? I don't know.
I mean, they still making games. A new Fatal Fury game, not Fatal Fury, King of Fighters game came out or was coming out. I'm trying to find this full list. So we got Darkstalkers all in one, Red Earth, Street Fighter, Gem Fighter Mini Mix, Hyper Street Fighter 2, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo. Nobody cares about that. Okay. What else? Yeah, so yeah, 5 Darkstalkers. Okay, Darkstalkers, the Night Warriors, Darkstalkers Revenge, Vampire Savior, the Lord of Vampire, and Japanese only titles, Vampire Hunter 2, Darkstalkers Revenge, and Vampire Savior 2. Talked about the Street Fighter games, and then there's Cyberbots Full Metal Madness as well, in addition to when I talked about Red Earth. So that is that's the first time Red Earth is even landing on consoles. That has never been on consoles or PC before now.
Wow.
So this is what I'm talking about, where a collection is worthwhile. There are games that you've literally only played in the arcade. There are games that have only come out in Japan.
Right.
And again, it's 10 games, it's only $40. And yes, there isn't a lot of depth, so to speak, to fighting games.
Right.
But you think about at your price, that's $40, 10 games, that's $4 a game. Yeah. That is more than worth the money. $4 for Hyper Street Fighter 2. That's worth it. $4 for any Darkstalkers game. That's worth it. It's worth it across the board when it comes to how much you're getting for your money.
I agree. I need that SNK.
I feel you. I feel you. They need to talk
it.
and to bring that back
Yeah.
out, because that is one of the best 2D fighters I've ever played in my life.
Yes.
Like,
I love that game. Playing it in the
Capcom
arcade.
okay.
That was the one between Marvel versus Capcom.
Yes.
And Capcom versus SNK. Like, I was back and forth.
Yeah, same.
Spending quarters playing them games. So I'm really looking forward to maybe one day coming out on console, but this is a good enough
this is a good collection. This is a very good collection.
And then there's also talks of another Marvel vs. Capcom game coming out also. So
since 3, that's been kind of dicey. So I will not forget that Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite crap.
Right. Like, I didn't understand that. I enjoyed 3, but then when it came to the unlimited one, I was like, this is 3 with extra characters. Why you just didn't DLC these to me?
Right.
But
exactly,
it is what it is.
They need a Marvel vs. Capcom collection. They need to put that out.
They do.
They really agree. Marvel superheroes and Marvel vs. Capcom 1, 2, and 3, and also X-Men versus Street Fighter. That's what they need to do. That would be a collection.
Some of those games might be in your local console store. I don't know. I haven't checked the Play Store in a while. I mean, the PlayStation.
I think some of them are. I think the only one really is probably available is going to be Marvel's Capcom 3 Unlimited.
Mm-hmm.
I think the rest of them have been delisted over the years, but that's why we need a collection, and that's all because of licensing. That Marvel stuff.
But see, now it's the perfect time, though.
Yes, it is.
Marvel has taken like great leaps and bounds as far as the MCU is concerned, introduced an entire generation to characters in their catalog that were otherwise forgotten about. Like, this would be a good time to be like, you know what? Street Fighters is coming back out. I think they're adding one new character to Street Fighters. I didn't check the details on that, but I think that's what I heard. Street Fighters getting like one new character or something like that.
I saw that, but like I said, I haven't been keeping up with it like that.
Yeah. Either way, putting those two back in the ring or whatever. Not even just Street Fighter. Capcom has a whole list of fighting characters that you will get in this 10 bundle, collection. They just need to package that up and give it to us. I think it'll make for some very interesting fights, especially with how far online gaming has become. Like, I can see them lobbies being crazy.
I agree. Next up, we have Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes on the Switch. And this is an action game taking place in the Fire Emblem universe. And if I remember, isn't Fire Emblem like a real-time strategy game or something?
It is.
Okay, so this is an action game that takes place in that universe with those characters. Looks pretty cool, though. I mean, it doesn't look...
It's not a... What were we about to say?
No, I said it doesn't look like a... I don't want to be downplayed because it looks like a good game. From a visuals perspective, it looks good. It looks like an action game with that sort of Fire Emblem design.
Yes.
I guess maybe since it's on a Switch, it doesn't maybe wow me as a game of that nature would when I see a trailer for it. But we are watching a trailer for that one a little bit later as well.
Okay.
So like I said, it looks good. It just doesn't wow me, but it looks like it'll be a fun game to play.
I agree with you. I'm a big fan of the Fire Emblem franchise because I like tactical turn-based games or whatever, and that's what it is. And what's like most important, or what is most I can't think of the word, but the thing about Fire Emblem that like makes it such a like intriguing game is the permadeath system that they have included in it or whatever. Like, once you lose a character, that's it. Like,
got you.
Unless you say, you know what, let me go back to the last save point and try to attack this turn-based thing one more time, whatever, see if I can keep all my players alive. That was the most interesting thing to me that I like doing with Fire Emblem. Now, this, on the other hand, I'm like you, it's not really wowing me or whatever. This is their attempt to try to branch the franchise off into something different. So if I'm not mistaken, the Warriors collections of Fire Emblem, they're all like this. They're supposed to be Fire Emblem's version of like Dynasty Warriors or something.
That's what I was thinking as well when I saw it. I thought instantly Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I've never played one. I probably like it or whatever. Dynasty Warrior was always a cool game to just run around and hack and slash people.
Right.
And then the storylines for Fire Emblems are really, really like intriguing. Like you play these games and you find out that there's these different, I don't know, it's almost like Game of Thrones, like these different houses or whatever, and they're competing or fighting over the rule of this entire nation. And then all of a sudden some evil person comes and it's like, we have to band together and fight. I don't know. It's interesting, but yeah, trailer later. Okay, cool.
Yes, we will definitely watching the trailer.
All right.
And last but not least is Madison. And this is an adventure game that's out for the PlayStation family systems, Xbox family systems, Switch, and PC. And this is billed as a psychological horror adventure game.
Madison is one of those ones that will make you scream just randomly. She pops out, you turn around, you turn back, in your face. Madison.
I'm just hoping that Kuya P is okay right now, considering the subject matter.
Right.
Having some PTSD over there.
Hopefully he's doing all right.
He's doing all right. Speaking of which, our first trailer we're getting into is Madison.
Madison. It's fun watching people play this game, though.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just not the one playing it.
Yeah. See, whenever they start doing candles and seances and all that stuff, I'm like, nah.
Not even Albert.
Look, all I'm saying is, we ain't the ones that's there. We leaving.
Right. I'm living to tell the story.
It's time to go.
Right.
You want to do what?
I'm living to tell the story.
If you can.
Look at this.
I know I'm not sick. I know I don't have much time left.
Back up. Back up.
This looks creepy.
It's creepy, all right.
Right behind me.
It's one of those horror games where what's happening in this house. You have to find all these clues and figure out all of these different obstacles or whatever. And it's persistent. There's no, I'm gonna just hide off in this little bathroom or whatever and try to figure my stuff out. It's like, no, I'm gonna knock on the door.
It looks interesting, just it's not a game for me. I already know that.
I might give it a spin during Halloween time, especially if they decide to make it any kind of free with PlayStation or whatever. Because for whatever reason, Halloween time, I'll be in the spirit to be play the spooky games or whatever. But otherwise, yeah, Madison is for a select crowd of individuals.
Yes.
And I'm not necessarily a part of it.
I'm not one of those people either. Not my cup of tea. Nothing wrong, but look, I will watch somebody play it online.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's fun to watch now.
Just not my cup of tea as far as playing it. All right, next up we have the trailer for the ShadowRun Trilogy.
On June 21st. Is it the unique cyberpunk meets fantasy set? I do see the cyberpunk vibe.
You got a little cyberpunk, you got magic, stuff like that.
I imagine this was really groundbreaking when it first came out. It looks cool. It does. It got turn-based combat.
Yeah, I'm digging turn-based combat. I never know this kind of action combat RPG. That's just me personally.
I have to blame Pokemon for hooking me on turn-based games.
Yeah. Well, I didn't play Pokemon, but I understand what you're saying in that regard.
Yeah.
Speaking of Nintendo, next up is Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes.
The point is that I'm here to guide you.
I might check this game out. It just
promise to help you
looks
find
cool.
the strength.
It does look cool.
Where did you get that power?
Oh, another thing that I like about Fire Emblem is that they don't the stories are different on every game. It's not a linear progression. Every individual game has an individual story. All the characters are individual. They never, well, occasionally they'll carry over characters, but it's done in a cool way where it's like paying homage to the previous game.
You need me?
But I don't know, this looks kind of good.
Yeah, it's very much Dynasty Warrior.
Definitely.
You seem so at ease, V. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Let's get to it.
Attack!
It has that.
Everyone, to arms.
It's not even cell shaded with that animated style.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I had a good time today.
W.
How many times have we fought now?
I even
Either
like
way,
how they're doing it
this
though,
will be the
because
last.
This isn't a fight you can win.
I
Get
guess
out of there.
now that
I will
they've decided
fight
to
with all
officially
my strength and spirit.
like
For
have
the
two
future,
franchises
even
underneath
for
the Fire Emblem
humanity.
title.
What if all this
like,
was just some horrible
like,
mistake?
I don't know.
What if there was another way
One
we
part
could
of
have
the
solved
year,
all
the
this?
turn-based
I'm
game
not
will come
here to
out, and then
answer
another
all
part of the
your
year,
thoughts.
this like
Whatever you're
free-flowing
planning,
action
I'm gonna
will kind of
stop
come out.
That's smart.
We must
So it
now
keeps like
send
a solid
the vote to an
release
early
schedule
grave.
as far as the game is concerned.
I will protect you all.
Kind of dope.
You can win this fight. I know you can.
Okay.
That's it. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what I'm gonna do right there. Get that demo. That'll be my deciding factor right there.
Right. And last but not least, we have Capcom Fighting Collection.
Hey. Let's see what we about to get. 35 years. It's an online play for all the games?
All of them. Wow. That's so many things. I remember I beat Dark Souls in the arcade
For hours just playing. Trying to get up on the arcade scoreboard.
I think Dark Souls.
I never played the Vampire Survivor game, but I know those characters from Capcom versus Marvel, or Marvel versus Capcom.
This is what I'm like. Why is Puzzle Fighter a thing?
I don't know. They could have put this on mobile. I don't need this on my console.
I mean, it's one of those titles that's already available through backwards compatibility Xbox. I'm pretty sure you can probably find it in PlayStation Store as well. And it's always on sale. They didn't say it before.
Hey, man, that's cheating. They really going all out for this thing.
They are. They can lose people work.
Right. I like that.
Well, like we said, this is definitely worth the money.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so that's the last of our trailers. Brian, what do you have going this week, my brother?
Just look, this side, the Talk+Play blerdcast. You know what that is? My podcast. Headlines for gossipy things, pop culture news, video games, music, TV. Miss Marvel is really good, so probably gonna be talking about that some more on this next upcoming episode. Latest episode is out right now, currently wherever you stream podcasts, and then here talking video games with you. And that's it. If you want to hit me up, that's the @ Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok.
All right, sounds good, man. I am doing the Sartorial Geek podcast every week. This week, a lot of things are still in the planning stages, but I'm definitely talking about Miss Marvel, definitely talking about Star Trek Strange New Worlds, definitely have my fragrance of the week. And I have a movie review. I watched the Tomorrow War the other day, even though it's been a couple of months since that came out. It lived up to all of my expectations. That's all I'll say about that. And my expectations were not good. So
oh damn. Okay.
I realized something watching that movie.
Uh-huh.
I don't like Chris Pratt unless it's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, Chris.
That's
I understand.
That's me personally.
No.
He's annoying to me as an actor. To me, praise it. The roles they have him in, they play too much like Guardians of the Galaxy and then his role in Parks and Rec.
Yes.
But they try to bring that action tough guy role to that personality. It's like that really doesn't work. And it didn't work in this movie for me, but you'll find out more about that Saturday morning when the new episode drops.
I agree with you though. They kind of trying to typecast him. Ryan Gosling was it Ryan Gosling? Yes, Deadpool. He kind of had this.
Ryan Reynolds, yeah.
Ryan Reynolds, yes. He kind of had a similar situation going on, but he's finding a way to break that mold.
Yeah, I agree.
Also checked out the Spiderhead movie we did a reaction to.
I've heard good things about that.
Yeah, it's not bad. I enjoyed it. I sat through it. It's not too long. It's like an hour and 45 minutes. The story is pretty it's pretty engaging. They get straight to the point as soon as you press play. Okay, so I'll probably be covering that on my podcast as well.
All right. I look forward to hearing.
As well as Drake's new album that everybody seems to hate. So
what, no Beyonce?
Right. Oh, look, no, I'm talking about me as well.
I refuse.
Why?
We'll talk another time about that.
Okay.
But you're not on the Sartorial Geek podcast. You're not on the Talk+Play blerdcast. You are with nerds who rule the world. And of course, make sure you follow us on Twitter at the NRW. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at New Release Wednesday. And of course, you are currently on YouTube. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe.
Please and thank you. What did I say? Arigato? Yes.